Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks. This video is called Missing Person. Now this video, it isn't about meaningless, pointless gossip you might see on social media. It's not about anything particular you will see in the fake stream media. The fake stream media, of course, being the false prophet, which supplies the majority of the world with a buffet of counterfeit stories, which the masses then use to form a warped counterfeit perception of the world. No, it's not about that, but this video is about one of the many hundreds of strategies that the fake stream media uses to keep people sinning, to keep people breaking commandments. One of them is the missing person story. There's one at the moment doing the rounds, which has been ongoing for a few weeks. This video is not about that. I don't know anything about it because I don't care. I'm not interested. If I was interested, it would show that I am still led by what the fake stream media puts out. I don't know anything about it and I have zero interest in it. Not because I am heartless or cold. No, it's because I don't know these people. And I also know that hundreds of people go missing every day in the UK. I mean, look at the stats. And out of those hundreds and hundreds of people, 30% of them stay missing for at least 3 months or more, which means there are dozens of people who go missing every day and they stay missing for a long time. So am I to be concerned for all of these different people every day? No, of course not. I don't know them. But the bigger question here that should be asked is, if so many people go missing every day, why do we only hear about certain specific ones in the fake stream media? Why is that? And then why are those stories that are focused on, they're kept going, so they seem to continue on and on like a soap story with twists and turns and loads of conspiracies attached to it? There is a very good reason for it, which I'll get onto in a second. Now, I've only heard about this story because it pops up on the front of newspapers, which unfortunately you can't help seeing from time to time when you go into a shop. This is the problem. You can avoid and ignore the false prophet of the media, but you still live in a world where the vast majority don't ignore it. It's quite the opposite. They embrace it. Most people live in the false counterfeit bubble of the fake stream media. It's what drives many of their conversations every day. So these stories, they still appear here and there as you go about your day-to-day things. Sometimes, you've got friends or family who will bring up these stories, so it's difficult to avoid completely. But anyway, I don't know anything about it. I don't need to. It is irrelevant to me. And I know that its main purpose as a media story is to fuel online conspiracies and gossip around it. That is the primary reason for its existence in the media, as with most things. It is irrelevant if you think it is real or not. The story is put out there to evoke a reaction from the public online. And the aim of that reaction is to get them to sin. And this story is following the same pattern in that it is being projected onto the consuming masses in a soap opera drama style over a period of now a few weeks. First of all, the lesser reason why this story has been projected in the way it is about money. Stories that involve missing persons are emotive, like the McCanns or the Nicola Bullies, and they continue for a set amount of time. They bring clickbait revenue for the media companies. So there's a financial reason for putting them out in this soap drama twist and turn style, with elements of conspiracy in there. But the main reason that most people completely overlook because the God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers, the main reason is that it is to get the masses to sin, to get the public, online especially, to gossip, to play detective, to start judging the characters of people or an individual, usually judging them based on the way they look or speak, to judge them without any knowledge or reason. I mean, it's okay to judge people righteously based on their actions and words and then comparing it to scripture, but to judge someone just on the way they look or sound, there's scripture that tells you not to do this. Stories like this are put out to make the masses become gossips. They are created and designed to fuel gossiping. And gossiping is what Scripture also calls a tale bearer. And it is breaking a commandment. It's a sin. One of the goals of Satan is to get people to sin. And this is just one of many, many ways it is done in this modern age. And the fake stream media engages people to do this. And we are all guilty of it. Me included. I've done videos in the years past where I have indulged in gossip around things that are basically and ultimately completely meaningless to me. But at the time I thought these were important, but now I realise it's all an illusion. And when I was doing that, I was just showing how I was still spellbound by the fake stream media, by the false prophet. I mean, even if I was questioning what I was seeing, I suppose I had to go through that to get to where I am now. If I talk about these things now, it's not because I'm interested in the case, it's because I'm highlighting the strategy to get the masses to sin, and how the masses are completely unaware of this most of the time. Because as it says in Scripture, they have been blinded by the devil to be unbelievers. And their belief, it comes through the Black Mirror screens and what they're told through it, and not the gospel. I mean, we should all know by now that when dealing with any viral videos that come out, that get huge numbers, it's usually being pushed out by the father of lies. It's going to be contaminated with numerous distortions, all to engage and create reactions, which lead the audience away from God and into sin. So missing person stories are now utilized to promote gossip and slander, which you find is then reinforced by strategically placed blue tick social media accounts who keep it going, who leave comments to get people to continue this behavior. So they will be saying or implying that the missing person isn't really missing, or maybe the partner murdered them, or that maybe it's a scam, or it's about a GoFundMe page, or that a person's family are dodgy, or whatever, that the police are covering it up. Yeah? And whether or not there is something dodgy going on or not, it's really irrelevant in what I'm talking about here. Ultimately, it's none of our business or anyone else, and nobody really knows what is going on. So all of this media exposure is there to create speculation and get the masses to indulge in speculation online, speculation on social media. It's designed specifically to fuel speculation, and this speculation is gossip. This is just one tiny example. There are thousands of variations of ways that the devil gets people to gossip online. You've got the 10 commandments, and one of them is, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. That's one of the 10 commandments. So that is intentional or unintentional lying about another person, and it is often connected with gossiping. I mean, we've all done it. I mean, it can be very tempting to gossip. I mean, you hear something about someone, you know, they'll say, oh, I've got some juicy gossip. I mean, it's always labeled, oh, juicy gossip. And then you repeat it to someone else, and you might exaggerate it to make the story extra juicy, yeah? To make it more salacious, to make you yourself maybe seem more interesting. And when you exaggerate something, you're distorting the truth. That is, of course, if you were dealing with the truth in the first place. And in most cases, you don't even know this. And in most cases, things are just rumours. Gossip and rumour go hand in hand. So you could just be spreading untruthful gossip about something you have no idea about. Which is certainly the case with tens of thousands of people online gossiping about some missing person, right? And the false prophet, the fake stream media, it encourages this with the content it puts out, because it gets the masses to indulge in gossip and speculation, which of course then gets them to break a commandment. It gets them to sin. So when you do this online by sharing stuff like this makes you a tale bearer or a gossip. It also shows that you are still subject to the power of the beast. It shows that you are still following the beast system. It shows you are still attached to it because you must believe it, and you allowed yourself to spread its gossip around. And you are adding to it when you allow yourself to become involved and engaged with it. It states Proverbs 26:20-22, where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer meaning gossip, the strife ceases. As coal are to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. So where there is no talebearer, where there is no gossip, the strife ends, the fire goes out. Like it's stated in scripture, it tells you, ignore the devil and he will leave. Ignore the fake stream media and their counterfeit reality they serve up to you, and it will go away. You won't be affected by it. As it states in James 4:7, submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. This is why the media fuels the story. It plants tidbits of info to fuel gossips, to get the masses online, to gossip, to become talebearers, which in turn makes them break one of the 10 commandments, makes them become sinners, gossip, slandering people who they don't know. And this all happens to them because they follow the Babylon man-made scripts as opposed to following scripture. They are lost at sea, following counterfeit stories, consuming counterfeit tales. They are drunk on the Babylonian wine. You know, there are two levels to this. You have the people who are completely lost at sea. Those who look at the news, look at the false prophet, fake stream media, alternative media, and see that as their connection to what's going on. The majority of these people don't read the Bible, don't believe in anything like that. The internet and the news is their truth. Whether it's the mainstream or the alternative, it doesn't matter. That is where they go to find out what's going on. And it's all nonsense. It doesn't matter. I mean, even if you question what you see, whether it being true or fake, it doesn't matter. It just shows that you still follow it. And it shows that you are led by its output. So they are controlled by the father of lies. I mean, they need to pray for guidance to get away from it. And then you have those on the next level down who believe in God, follow Jesus, and when they come to that understanding, even then there is another net to catch them and try and lead them astray. And that would be a huge amount of the huge amount of various religious organizations and modern corrupted versions of the Bible. You know, the Bibles that change the words and meanings of passages, which are then used to create arguments and division to confuse those particular people. So you have two levels going on here. People use the term truth seekers, and it's conflated these days with conspiracy theorists. But everyone is a truth seeker. Every single person is seeking some form of truth, seeking meaning to their lives. It's not a small subset of people. Everyone is a truth seeker. But not everyone understands that Jesus is the way and the truth, as it states in John 14:6, and that no man cometh to the Father but by me. The fake stream media is the mouthpiece of the father of lies. One of its jobs is to make its audience sinners through manipulation of the content they put out and your reaction to it. Of course, in amidst all of this content, there is some wisdom. There are some good things. I mean, not all movies are evil. Not all music is bad. There is stuff there you can learn from that can inspire you. There are some good things that fall through the cracks. But the vast majority of it is like a powerful river heading one way. And the current of that river is very strong, and it will take the majority of the masses with it. And being online these days and trying to set yourself apart from it is a bit like, swimming against a powerful current. So look, I just wanted to point out the strategy behind these emotionally manipulative, presented missing person stories that play out like a soap drama. And the main effect of them, whether they're real or not real, is to get the mass public gossiping, to become tale bearers, to bear false witness, to speculate. Satan, through the false prophet media, uses these stories to get the masses to break yet another commandment. The Bible tells us that a perverse man stirs up dissension, and a gossip separates close friends. Proverbs 16:28, Proverbs 18:7-8. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. It tells you straight there that a fool's mouth is his own destruction, and that it is a trap for his soul. Becoming a gossip, a talebearer, is a trap for your soul, a trap laid by counterfeit stories. And the words you use will become wounds that will damage and destroy you. This is what the fake stream media is doing. This is why they have controversial characters that inspire you to hate. The hatred trap, which I was talking about in a previous video. Why they put out snippets of information to create gossip. They do this through an army of online people on social media. The false prophet does this all of the time in all kinds of ways. It's just another trap. And indulging in this online is no difference to doing it in person in, the real world. It may not seem so, but it's the same. And you corrupt yourself by what comes out of your mouth, as it says in scripture. You defileth yourself by what comes out of your mouth, not what goes into it. And also it states in scripture, it says that you will be judged for every word you say. So I'll leave you with this, what Jesus says in Matthew 12:36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for your time and your prayers and your support. And I'll see you in the next video.
There was never nothing missing or ever anything out of place. For all I ever really wanted was given in a moment's grace. It was always there in front of your eyes. In the darkness, a light he will provide. Beware, Babylon, she sings her song. Are you spellbound? Do you sing along? Oh no, 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 no. Beware, Babylon. But right now is wrong, dragging you down, down to the pits where you don't belong. There was never nothing missing or ever anything out of place. For all I ever really wanted was given in a moment's grace. It was always there in front of your eyes. In the darkness, a light he will provide. Beware, Babylon, as she sings her song. Are you spellbound? Do you sing along?